So the interministerial committee that is headed by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Mamuluko Kubai. I'm so sorry, I was almost mixing up with Chabeni. So they held their, I think it's fortnight briefing, because it looks like every 2 weeks now they come on a Sunday to brief us about the work that they are doing. Jacinta Ngobese Zuma. You got the government working. You got the government coming to us timelessly to give us updates about what they are doing to not alleviate, to eradicate illegal foreigners in our country. Of course, the Nigerian studio was touched, so much so that the journalist from Nigeria ended up walking out because she was presenting Nigerians as a special case. Like they are special, the most special people on the planet Earth. And when she did not get what she wants, she walked out, but we'll get to that later. So basically, what they call themselves, IMC, they came to well, you really needed to listen to understand what they were saying. But it's more like what they are currently doing to ensure that immigration in South Africa, it is well defined. What is an asylum seeker? What is a refugee? And what is an immigrant? But the immigrant part, they are mostly talking about economic migrants. 53,000 of them have been deported from Nigeria, Uganda, Ghana, Malawi, Zimbabwe, and Zambia and Lesotho. Those are the countries that were mentioned, make up 53,000 of them, and all of them were illegally in the country. But you're going to hear Nigeria and Ghana say, oh, they were legal, they had papers. Liars. Bunch of liars. They say, oh, they were in the country legally. And then, so we now know that most of them also, of the 53,000, they sought asylum in South Africa and they don't qualify for asylum. Can you imagine a Nigerian seeking asylum on what grounds? A Ghanaian seeking asylum on what grounds? And a Malawian seeking asylum based on what? Because none of these countries are at war. None of these countries have some political instability where people are being picked and they are experiencing political targeting or political killing of some sort. Some, as you heard some stories, somebody did not want to be a chief in his family. So he ran to South Africa for asylum. No, we don't give asylum to people that are running away from their cultural responsibilities. We give asylum to people that really, really need it. People that actually may face life and death situation. So to preserve life, we give them asylum. That's what we do. That's what we signed up for. But for some reason, countries like Nigeria, they think that South Africa is a subsidiary of Nigeria. Like, how dare you ask us why we are illegally here? We belong here. That type of situation. So much so that they are adamant in misinformation and disinformation about South Africa. They've been pushing the propaganda train really, really hard. At least now we know who is the leader of all of it. This is the journalist that interviewed Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, the one from Nigeria. The most dumbest journalist I have ever heard in my life. Her line of questioning makes no sense, and her line of questionings are mostly statements than there are questions. She's not okay. Let's be clear on that. She's not okay. She even went as far, because a journalist will have to listen critically to what is being said. Nigeria comes out and threatens South Africa with compensation. that it's going to demand compensation of its citizens that were repatriated, that had businesses and property and things of that nature. And the question was, listen, in South Africa, we have systems, we have property laws. And fortunately, the Nigerian journalist was sitting in the audience, and she was face to face with the minister that is in charge of forfeiture unit. If you are going to accumulate property based on criminal proceedings, yeah, she seizes your property and then use the money to fight crime. And I don't think the Nigerian journalist got it. Like, what do you mean? Is there such a thing? Yes. I understand Nigeria is a country that is lawless. They may have laws in place, but nobody looks at the law in Nigeria, not the president, ministers, down to the citizens themselves. Look at the roads. If you go to Nigeria, they do have road demarcations, including robots. But who's obeying any of those things? Speed limits. Who's obeying all of those things in Nigeria? Nobody. Why? Because the law to them is not meant to be applied. So they take that mentality and come out of Nigeria with it and think that's how Africa operates. And they get shocked when things in South Africa are organized. And they don't understand that organization. Like, this is so un-African. We thrive on organized chaos. We thrive on organized chaos. Everything is loud. And nobody is obeying the law. Everybody is individualistic. And it's about me, 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 me. Literally, when you hear them peeping, it's almost that hood is saying, me, 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 move out of my way, me, 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 move out of my... That's Nigeria for you. Looks like West Africa, with the exception of Ivory Coast. I love Ivory Coast. I think Ivory Coast is like South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. I think the attitude of Ivorians, very classy, demure. As for the rest, probably Burkina Faso as well might be an exception to the rule because they are busy minding their own business, building their own country. So this woman comes with an accusation of 4 Nigerians that allegedly went unalived in South Africa, and the government did nothing since 2009 or something like that. And so she's challenged by the minister, Mamuluko. He's like, please provide that information. We'll look into it. But she was mostly wanting to talk about Kumbutso Chabeni, the minister in the presidency, of what she said about drug dens. When she spoke about the drug dens the last time, I celebrated, and I knew it was not going to sit well with Nigerians in Nigeria. I know that the parliament was going to call an emergency sitting just to discuss a misunderstanding clearly being pushed by this dumb journalist. I don't know how she's a journalist, but she's pretty dumb, I must say. That she said Nigerians are drug dealers in South Africa. She even goes to list that Nigerians are doctors, Nigerians are lawyers, Nigerians are business people. Who gives a rat's tail? The people of South Africa, they are saying, if you go to Hillbrow, you go to Berea, you go to Yeovil, you go to Point Road, you go to Belleville and Parklands, you go to Sunnyside in Pretoria, you will find drug dens owned by Nigerians. Then I had even a thought in my head, like maybe what the government needs to do is to invite this Dumbo of a journalist to a raid where they are going to raid maybe not 1 or 2, maybe let's say all the drug dens. And then she must count how many Nigerians are there. Like I'm saying, put her in whatever safety kits and she goes with the police then by then, by then, by then, by then. She can even, I don't know, Xolani Kumalo. Sizokuthola. Xolani Kumalo says, okay, a company has us, let's show you. Maybe it will sink in because some reason Nigerians, they don't believe that they are drug dealers. Germany is deporting 30,000 of Nigerians. Why? Because they do exactly what they do here in South Africa. And then you will have Nigerians that will pop videos, but none of them are saying the things that they're saying to us. Instead, they're telling Nigerians, please behave in Europe, behave. They're not accusing, I'm sorry, I'm eating sweets. They're not accusing Germany of xenophobia. They're not accusing Germany that Nigerians are not drug dealers, they are doctors, they are this and engineers. And so she all my sweets are out of my mouth. Okay, fine. So she was really hurt by what the minister in the presidency said, and so she asked for an apology. First of all, she tried to psychologically manipulate the minister in the presidency by asking, was that professional and was that diplomatic thing to say? And from a minister, things like this shouldn't come out of your head. Like I said, her questions are statements rather than they are questions. Basically, she's tongue lashing our minister. And fortunately, they caught it that this one thinks we are her children, thinks this is Nigeria. This is how we do things here. Oh no. Oh no. Minister Kumbutso, not Kumbutso. You see, I mixed the two. Minister Kubai came and said, no, she owes nobody no explanation. She explained the position of property, and also because South Africans are the ones that are saying there are drug dens that are run by Nigerians. That's what she was talking about.
Issue I want to respond to. As I said, Minister Ntshabeni is not going to issue an apology because sitting here as the chair of the IMC, I have listened to her. And we can debate, we can argue that this is what needs to be done. And as I said, if Nigerian government does feel that South African minister has done something wrong, the appropriate channel is for that to be done through DECO, through the diplomatic channels, and that shall be responded within those channels. I do not think it's appropriate for the confrontation at this point. Minister Ntshabeni never said all Nigerians are drug dealers in the statement. Never. There's no way she says that. So it can be that the insinuation is that she said Nigerians are drug dealers. She didn't say that. She spoke about drug dens, and my explanation is that if you listen to the marchers, you listen to the South Africans, that's what they have given us as feedback to say, ministers, please deal, go to Hillbrow, go to Sunnyside. We do have this challenge of drug dens that are there. It is South Africans who are saying to us, they are run, some of them are run by Nigerians. And Minister Ntshabeni was explaining the feedback that we have received from South Africans. Not that it is the belief that Nigerians, all Nigerians that are here, are drug dealing. That's not what she said. And I don't think a demand from an apology from here, it's warranted, nor is it appropriate. Thank you.
It wasn't coming from the presidency or from the government. Oh, she tried to argue from the floor, the disrespect, decorum. That's another thing about Nigerians. They're loud. They come inside while you are talking. You're like, can I finish my point? Even in a professional, she was just asking, was that professional of Kumbutso to say that? But there she's unprofessional as a journalist coming into the mouth of our minister because she doesn't like what she's hearing. And then Kachalia comes and says, You Nigerian journalists, you think you are a special case, or Nigerians are a special case. I think this is now what you're going to be hearing in the Nigerian news and content creators talking about, yeah, we are special. Yeah, we are special. No, you're not. You're not special. You are not special at all. You struggle with all sorts of issues, mental health, HIV, you name it. There's all kinds of illnesses that are going on there, including filth, including hygiene doesn't exist, kidnapping of children, Boko Haram, bandits, you name it. Your economy is falling apart. So you're not special at all, Nigeria. You're just not. You can lie to yourself and have a main character syndrome, but the truth of the matter is the world is like you when they look at you. So you're not special. So towards the end of the briefing, which was 2.5 hours long, by the way, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Mamuluko Kubai, she came to chastise South Africans, which I did not like, regarding Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act. She says that we have no right as South Africans to apply Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Ma'am, you are wrong. It's the law. You cannot make that law go away. Even the example that you try, or an analogy that you try to put, that if somebody breaks into your house, you don't house arrest them. I mean, you don't citizen arrest them. You call the police. Yeah, I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized. So when they are coming in, breaking into my house, carrying guns, I'm not going to be doing something stupid. I won't do anything stupid. I would let them do what they do, and then when they are gone and my life is spared, and then I call the police. But Mamuluku Kubai, as a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act is regulated by the Constitution of the Republic. And it's quite clear what it says. In an event of a commission of crime, right? Not the one that you're telling me where I am emotionally broken. I'm talking about, I know that in this area, there are illegal foreigners. There are illegal foreigners. Therefore, Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act gives me that right. But you know what we did, Minister? We said, okay, we are not going to apply it. But what we are going to do is we are going to we're going to get the police very busy. So much so that even, I think one commissioner got really, really sick and tired of South Africans calling the police. That South Africans now are going to police stations and saying, hey, we want a van, we want 3 vans, 7 police, and so many police to come with us to go and arrest illegal foreigners.
Nowadays, these people, they even come this much as to the police station and demand, station commander, give us this amount of vehicles. Call Home Affairs to come with us. Call Department of Employment, Labor, and go with us.
That's what we decided to do, because we are respecting what the government is saying to us about Section 42. You took it away from us. Unconstitutionally so, you took it away from it. But we said, okay, if you don't want us to put it into application, then we are going to make sure that your police, now some of them, minister, they are corrupt. The same police you say we should rely on, they are corrupt. They take bribes. And then when you're like, but we thought we told the police about y'all, why are you still here? These are people that are illegally, undocumented, living in our communities. So what should we do? Because Section 42 is there. It exists. You can't wish it away, Minister. It exists. It's the law. And so if we have an opportunity to apply it, you can't tell us we can't. You cannot tell us we can't. And the second thing that I noticed while Mamuluku Kubai was naming countries that have either repatriated their citizens or they voluntarily repatriated, amounting to 53,000. There were 4 countries that were not mentioned. And I feel like the government owes South Africa, and I've said this before, and this time around, I'm even more serious about it. And I think South Africans should ask questions around this. In the list, where were the Pakistanis? How many Pakistanis that repatriated or deported? How many Bangladeshis? Now, before I get to the other 3, what is it about the South African government that it has with Pakistan and Bangladesh, with its citizens that are illegally here? The majority of Pakistanis and Bangladeshis are illegally in South Africa. What is it that this government is afraid of when it comes to these 2 nations? They are not African nations. They are not part of Pan-Africanism that you guys have signed us up for. And then let's go to the other 3. Somali, Ethiopians, and Congolese. But I want to focus on the Somalis and the Ethiopians. Why were they not on the list of repatriatees, returnees, deportees, whatever you call them? Again, Somalis and Ethiopians, the majority of them are here illegally. And you cannot come and say, oh, well, they have asylum status based on what? Let's start with Ethiopians. Why would an Ethiopian have a asylum status in South Africa? Why would an Ethiopian have an asylum or even a refugee status in South Africa? There's no war in Ethiopia. Somalia, same story. So please, government, you owe South Africans an explanation about these nations that I mentioned. The DRC, they are being naughty, those people. War is in the east, but the rest of the country, there's nothing going on. Why don't they go to the rest of the country? So you owe South Africans an explanation with this one. We need a full report. Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Somalis, and Ethiopians. And then the DRC. What are they doing here? Why they did not bother to leave? Why? And what are you going to do about it? Because as I was listening to the press briefing, I did not hear anything decisive, concrete, like on this is what we would have achieved. The wall will start being built. I'm talking about the borders. No, nothing of that nature is being said. So to me, at the end of the day, this press briefing was to appease South Africans to calm down, to calm down, so that you guys can go back to business as usual, do nothing. Fellow South Africans, if you were watching that press briefing, thatha umlilo ufake samo inakuzani inkuni, ngoba they are trying to throw water onto what we already ngeke bafethu, until we have decisive decisions about immigration. Until we hear decisive decisions about immigration in this country, where we have deadlines, where now we know the ground has been broken along the borders, and the construction has begun. And two, the buses and the planes never stopped taking people that are illegally in the country. And as we've always said, After the 30th of June 2026, that's when the work intensifies. The 30th was just a warning to let people go home, go home. After that, things will intensify. Yes, we will follow the law. That is why we decided that we are going to, fine, suspend Section 42. And then we are going to take, no police must tell us, hey, home affairs. No. Because at some point, especially when the police grow wary, they will stop doing what the community wants. And I'm telling you, this is when South Africans will invoke Section 42. And when they do it, it's not going to be nice. So to prevent that, you better speak to your police. Your police, they are saying it is not right that South Africans keep taking them door to door. How is it not right? We are showing you where there's criminals. Because when you are undocumented, you're a criminal. When your papers have expired, you are a criminal and you're still here. And we are taking you to criminals and you're telling us it's not right. This is police telling us that. So do not provoke South Africans by invoking Section 42. That we decided, okay, we'll do as you say because we respect you. But the police will not see and experience peace again from South Africans until all illegal foreigners have left South Africa. South African police will not see peace until all illegal foreigners are out of our communities. You cannot force communities of South Africa to accept what they don't want no more. I see the Pakistanis in Witbank. They went to the Witbank police station because South Africans are taking police to their shop and say, these Pakistanis, they are illegally here and running spaza shops. So they go to the Witbank police station to demand protection. Meaning, they are saying, no, the South African money must come to us, whether you like it or not. Because to whom are they selling? To whom? To us, right? So, Witbank, Nibambengako, continue doing that. We're not going to be forced to accept people we no longer want in our communities. It's our constitutional right. Anyways, the entire press briefing, it produced nothing. But I'm grateful that our ministers, they did a lot to defend us. They defended South Africans. I must say that. Thank you for that. Because you guys have abandoned us. You were calling us names. But now, you are defending us. Thank you. We appreciate that. Other than that, guys, I hope I broke this a little bit to understand what exactly this press briefing was about. It's nothing to write home about, but there were some few things that I was impressed with. How the Nigerian journalist was dealt with. Oh, that was mwah. That's how you deal with dumbos. It was chef's kiss. Now she's gonna run crying. They say we're not special. South Africa say we're not special. No, you're not. You're not. Anyways, I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.